Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Pure Ideas. I'm Katia Douglas, and today I'd like to welcome and introduce Helen Archibald of the MAPD Group. Hi, Helen. Lovely to see you again.
Hi, Katia. Nice to be here. Thank you.
So for our listeners, the MAPD Group have been our new owners. I say new owners in inverted commas, actually, because they've been our owners for just over a year now, which I can't believe, Helen. The time has really flown past. But we were acquired just over a year ago by the MAPD Group. And we thought that it was a really good time now to introduce Helen, who works within the MAPD Group, and just to talk a little bit about Helen's background, but also the wider MAPD Group and what they do and what that means.
Oh, thanks for having me on to chat with you, Katia. So, career-wise, my career's been in general management. I guess would you say that's really majored in operations. Although as I've got on through my career, I've got more involved in commercial and strategy areas. And then in the middle bit of my career, I specialised in human resources. I've had the benefit of working in a whole lot of different places across the UK and Ireland, and in three main sectors. So the first one I was in cinema management, which sounds a bit niche, but I can tell you it was a brilliant place to work and a great place to learn general management skills. Then I was in education for a little while, but I've had in legal. I've had about 15 years altogether in my career, and certainly the last 10 years has all been in the legal sector. And I know you and I have spoken about this before, but like many people, I didn't have a grand plan, so I didn't have a career that I plotted out. And what I've ended up doing is really just as a consequence of all of the experiences and skills that I gathered over the years. And that's led me to working in the last 10 years or so with businesses who are going through rapid growth or rapid changes for whatever reason. And it turns out that my mixture of operational management and human resource management, people leadership, have ended up being quite useful when it comes to helping businesses go through changes and go through growth really quickly. You'll understand why that is. On the operations side, you need to not only work out what you need, how the business needs to change, looking at its operating model, its systems, its processes, all that good stuff, working that out and then implementing that. But the most important thing of all, I would say, is bringing people along with you, because that's the only way that it's going to succeed. So that's been my career in a nutshell.
And what about MAPD itself? It would be really good to understand a little bit more about sort of the background to what does MAPD stands for. I'm sure you're going to tell everybody in a moment, and how it sort of came about, the ethos behind the MAPD Group.
Yeah, I'd love to. I've been with the MAPD Group for a year, so not from the beginning, but I am absolutely a fully signed up member to MAPD and its philosophy. Which is really what brought me here, is what attracted me here. MAPD literally stands for Making a Positive Difference. It's the vision of Joanna and Brian. That's Brian Cullen and Joanna Kingston Davis, who launched the MAPD Group as a consequence of a management buyout back in around 2020. With what was the founding business, which is a business called Jackson Lees Group, which is still very much part of the MAPD Group. Since 2020 until now, it's grown to now be 7 businesses, 7 different brands, and along with the MAPD engine room, what we call the engine room, which is really the leadership combined with the sort of back office services that support each of these businesses. So you can see how rapid that's been, and throw in a couple of years of on and off COVID lockdowns to complicate all of that. It really has been rapid growth, making a positive difference. Joanna and Brian, what that's all about, what their vision is really doing good and making a difference through the business that we do, through the business of law. So that is through legal services themselves, and how we do it, and access to justice, for example, but also in the arena of intellectual property, that's supporting clients to innovate and change the world.
Yes, and I was going to ask you actually why it was felt that you, to a certain extent, I looking at the Mapped group before we joined, it was legal practices. We were obviously your first intellectual property acquisition. What was behind that? Do you think the sort of thought to deviate into that sector?
Yeah, that's right. It was the first IP acquisition, and it predates me, of course. But I think I can speak to that. There was a thought, and this has played out to be correct, that an intellectual property business coming into the group, along with what was then five legal services businesses, that there would be some really nice interplay between these, to mean that there could be lots of cross referrals and cross fertilization in the group to help serve our, offer additional services to our clients. And I mean, Katia, you've been a real leading light in making that come to life over this first year, and there's still many more opportunities to play for. But I think we've seen that it really is a good kind of complementary fit to what Mapped already was. There are other reasons as well that I think Pure Ideas has been a really excellent addition to the Mapped group. So as well as the services that you provide, there's also there's been a geography addition. In the Midlands there, you're based in Stratford-upon-Avon. I know you've got clients right across the UK and beyond, but in terms of having an office and people in the Midlands there, I think that's been an excellent addition. And of course, primarily, the big reason is just like-mindedness and cultural fit. Pure Ideas, like any of the Map businesses, I mean, if they didn't have the same philosophies and buy into the same purpose of making a positive difference, then you wouldn't be part of the Mapped group. So fundamentally, that's what it's all about.
And I would certainly agree with that, Helen. I think from the point of view of how we feel we fit within the Mapped group, it felt very comfortable very quickly. A lot of businesses, I think, when they're acquired, there can be sort of a reticence about, what's going to happen? Is everything going to be changed? And I can honestly say, I think most of our clients probably haven't even noticed that we've been newly acquired, because it is business as usual. And part of that is down to that sort of cultural piece that you saw, that like-mindedness, and I think that's a really strong part of Pure Ideas identity, that sort of desire to do right by our people, but also by our clients. And they are the things that really matter. It's the lifeblood of the business, quite literally, and it's really important that we put them first and foremost in our minds. And that's what the whole Mapped group seems to be about. When they're, when you listen to anybody in any part of the Mapped group talking about clients or people, that's the thing that resonates.
There really is a common language, isn't there? There truly is a common language, and it doesn't need to be taught, because we are like-minded, coming into the group. So it's so good to hear you say that. And I think that partly the reason for what you just said is that there are many things which are important to Mapped, but two of them, when it comes to acquiring businesses and bringing them into the group, we talk, a phrase that we talk about a lot is working with, not doing to. So when we acquire businesses, we don't impose any. We really do, genuinely, collaborate and work together. And I can see you nodding. I know you agree with that, because we've spoken about it before now. And the other thing is, we recognise the value of the brand that you've already got. We've got so Pure Ideas is already built value as a brand. So we don't want to mess around with that. We want to add more good stuff. Give you access to more than you have as your own business, as well as kind of we talk about rocket fueling things. And that Mapped is that you're really powered by Mapped. That that's what's happening, and that's definitely the way that we want to do it. That it should all be extra and incremental, and none of it is taken away or losing any of the value that you've already built. And whatever we're doing it together, working with, not doing to.
And I think that's also something that we've witnessed, the sort of the greater access internally. You talked about the Mapped engine room, and that's certainly lovely for us to have as a small business ourselves, having the access to that extra expertise within Mapped engine room, whether it's being on the sales and marketing side, or HR access, or whatever it might be, even IT, which was a bit of a bone of contention in our business for a while. But all of those things really do make a difference, make a positive difference to the way that we can operate as a business. And then having that wider access, you alluded to the Accelerate program and within MAPD, and how you're looking for better synergies within the group so that we got better economies of scale and all sorts of other things in there. But one of the key things was, how can the brands work together to help each other, and help clients, more importantly. And I think that's something that I've really noticed, that now if somebody within the wider MAPD groups gets a trademark question thrown at them, they know that they can come to Pure Ideas, and then that's a better client journey for the end client, because rather than, oh, sorry, we don't do that, you're going to have to go and look up a trademark organisation. They can just refer it to the query to us, and vice versa. If we need help with agreements or licensing or whatever it might be, there's a wider group out there that we can go to. So I think it's a really nice way of sort of growing as a business, that you've got those sort of, that almost, I don't want to say one-stop shop, but you've got access to lots of opportunities to help clients. And I certainly have spoken to a client recently, and he's a great client of Pure Ideas, and we've helped him on the patent and the trademark side. But when he found out that there's a wider access to legal advice, he was really interested in that. And he said, this is great. Can you share this with me? Because I want to be able to, tell the other people in the organisation, so that we don't have to sort of scrabble around when we've got a legal issue that we're dealing with. We can come to you and you'll refer us to somebody.
That's fantastic to hear, because it's an extension of the trusted relationship, isn't it? So you've got a trusted relationship with your client, and which is why one of the things that's so important to us is to build deep trust between all of the different businesses within the group. And we work hard at that, as you know. I mean, the transformation program, which we call Accelerate, that's kind of one of the main bits of my job since I joined the group a year ago. That is made up of around 60 people across the whole group. Every business is kind of on there doing different things as part of the program, but it's not the only place where we collaborate, but it's really facilitated lots of collaboration, and deepens trust between the businesses as well, which is so important for clients. I mean, clients actually feel the benefit of that. And I think also, I mean, the businesses that have joined MAPD, they've each had their own kind of, they've each been at a pivot point of some description, different points in journeys for different businesses, but they've each been at a pivot point, and they have seen MAPD as the right home for them to go to. And I think, and I'm so pleased to hear you say that, you don't think clients will have really felt a difference, because they shouldn't, because it should be seamless, because they're still dealing with you. But what it does do, already, I would say, but increasingly over time, is give Pure Ideas, retaining the benefit of being a small, friendly, personal, very human business, but you've got access to more resources, to more innovations that we're able to invest in, which is a small business you weren't in a position to do. But as part of a bigger group, we're doing loads of exciting things, as you know, knowledge transfer partnerships with universities, investment in just stuff like Copilot, all sorts of stuff. There's a long list.
It's a really exciting time, actually. There's some lovely opportunities to improve processes and all sorts of things that can only have a knock-on effect of improving the overall service that we give to clients. So it's a really exciting time to be involved in the MAPD group, and Pure Ideas are very happy to be here. So
yeah, fantastic. Well, MAPD has certainly really benefited from you being part of the group, and you particularly, Katia, you've really got involved in loads of things. You've very quickly built yourself an excellent reputation in the whole group, as well as in Pure Ideas.
Thank you very much, Helen, for your time today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. If anybody wants to know any more about either the MAPD group or Pure Ideas and the intellectual property services that we offer, then please do click on any of the links below and get in touch, and we'll be very happy to help you. And thanks again, Helen, for your time.
It's been a pleasure.